What is poppin', fam? Spanik here, coach of your Reno Acerola, and this is ICBA Week 4 against my boy Johnny GB and his Oregon Duckletts. And he has a really scary ass team. I did not like my matchup going in. I really hated my matchup for this game. But I had to still play it, even though I didn't like my matchup at all. So I had to make a team, try to make something work against him. But he brought all his threats. Essentially, he had other stuff, but essentially these are just all his threats that he could have brought to scare the shit out of me. Seismitoad, big threat. I have no Seismitoad's a big threat because I could check my Mega Metagross. I do have the Grass Knot tech on my Mega Metagross again, but Seismitoad still does check it quite well. If he's Red Berry, well, fuck. Zapdos is another one because I really don't have a good electric resist on my entire team, and I know, and one of my biggest defensive assets is Mantine, and Zapdos just kind of beats that. Alolan Muck needs no introduction. This thing with Poison Touch just fucks everything up. Azelf and Greninja really kind of go hand in hand here as threats to my team because I really don't have a good special wall on my team. Yeah, Mantine, but Azelf gets Thunderbolt, and Greninja could run HP Electric if he wants. And Mence also needs no introduction. I think at +1 really just wrecks havoc. So I figured one of my keys to victory this game is to definitely keep Mimikyu's disguise intact, because I am running a Choice Scarf for Mimikyu for this game. Shoutouts to Spedshed. Shoutouts to my front office again for helping me prep. It was actually Spedshed's idea to bring the Choice Scarf for Mimikyu. Because judging by his team, he really does. His team is fast, and fast teams really don't like Scarfers that well. So Choice Scarf Mimikyu with Play Rough Shadow Claw. I think a Playoff Shadow Claw, HP Ice, and Destiny Bond. I wanted to switch HP Ice with Woodhammer, but Spedshed thought HP Ice would do more to Mence, but Mimikyu has pitiful Spatak, so do more to Mence at -1. But Play Rough actually does more. I ended up having to calc in the game, so fuck me on that. I should have ran Woodhammer, and I could have nuked his Seismitoad with it. You'll see what I mean in the game. We have AV Kang. And this is my Greninja switching. It's built to just sponge hits from Greninja. I have Drain Punch, Facade, Ice Punch, and EQ. Drain Punch is my only way of recovery. Ice Punch for the Mence. In case he tries to go hard Mence on it, I could Ice Punch it. Facade, just in case Greninja Scald, just in case he runs Scald on Greninja, and he burns me, I could just start spamming Facade. Lando's an interesting set. Lando is Z Sandstorm. I brought this because I didn't want to bring Scarf because I definitely needed something that could outspeed his team. I needed ways to outspeed his threats. So, and Lando does provide me with that. I have Earth Power, HP Ice, Grass Knot, and Sandstorm with the Rockium Z. And this thing is just built to outspeed his entire team, potentially sweep late game. I have HP Ice to hit his Azelf. HP Ice to hit his Mence mostly, but Azelf could also be hit by it. Zapdos as well. Pretty much the things that don't get hit by Earth Power get hit by HP Ice. I was thinking maybe I should have brought a mixed set with Knockoff, but what are you going to do? I should have brought maybe Knockoff instead of HP Ice, but then if I brought Knockoff instead of HP Ice, I have nothing for his Mence. So I definitely had to bring something. And Grass Knot was like 4th before his Seismitoad. Maybe I should have brought Knockoff over Grass Knot. Actually, yeah, maybe I should have brought Knockoff over Grass Knot just for his Azelf. Actually, I think Lando gets Dark Pulse, so I could have brought Dark Pulse. What are you going to do? It's too late now. Arcanine's just a Fizz Def set, and this thing, judging by this matchup, it's just built to take on Mence. Mega Metagross is just there to break things like it always does, and Terrakion is just a Suicide Rocks lead. So yeah, that's my team. That's his team. This is our final divisional matchup of the season. Turns out there are no rematches for divisional opponents. So I've just found that out now. There's no rematch for divisional opponents. So in case anyone was wondering what the Arcanine set was in week 2 against Equa, the Arcanine set was Z Sunny Day. Just, I didn't want to reveal because I thought there was rematches, and I was going to bring that in the rematch because I didn't get to use it, and it just fucks up Equa's entire team. But there are no rematches unless playoffs, and Equa, it doesn't look like he's in a position to make playoffs. I believe he's 1-4 right now, or something like that. So yeah, the Arcanine set was the sunny day. I just thought I'd share that. Also, we did make a transaction. Effective week number... What's this, week 4? Effective week number 6. Week 6. We have decided to part ways with Musharna. I never really saw an opportunity to use it. Like, yeah, it's an interesting mon to use. The bulk is there. Could be a solid cleric, but I mean, Serena could be a cleric too, and Kangaskhan gets Wish. So it doesn't even get Wish from Sharna. I really saw no opportunity to use it, and I decided instead I was going to pick up Claydol. Claydol gives me another utility mon. Rocks, another hazard removal with a fairly decent move pool. I like Claydol. Claydol's underrated. It gets a bad rap, and I have no idea why. I actually quite like that mon. Okay, so let's see how this battle played out. Let's see what happens. Could we get a win against Johnny GB and the Duckletts? Could we dethrone the division leader? Let's see. Okay, so this recording is going to be from Johnny's side, because he records my battles every week anyway, and to avoid double work, I just said, you know what, just give me your side. It's really no big deal. He decides to lead off with his Seismitoad, and this was scary for me, because I decided to lead off with my Mimikyu, because I just got pretty much a good hit on anything because of my Choice Scarf. And pause number 1 here. This is the moment where I wish I had Woodhammer, because that was just an easy click on this thing. Even if he had Rindoberry, he probably would just take this turn to get his rocks up regardless. So I could have just clicked Woodhammer and nuked this thing, but I didn't have Woodhammer because Sped thought it was a good idea to bring HP Ice with immense, meanwhile player up did more and -1. God fucking damn it, Sped. Anyway, I was calcing like crazy here because I didn't have the obvious play of Woodhammer, and unfortunately, I do end up succumbing to the timer and clicking that and the randomized Destiny Bond. That's misplay number 1 of this game. Going down the timer like a freaking pleb. I am too used to Showdown. I thought I had all day to calc, but nope. I just get sacked like Eli Manning on a regular basis. Because I ran out of time. So yeah, so turn 1 we're already in the hole. We're already in the hole big time because I decided to be a dumbass with my Mimikyu. So I decided to switch out here into my Terrakion. I thought it was mostly the least expendable member, and I wanted Rocks up immediately. And I figured if he went for knockoff, it would be better for me as I get my Justified. But as you can see, he goes for Stealth Rocks, which is okay. I just click Close Combat here just to get some damage. And judging by that, I can tell right off the bat he's Fizz Def. He's going to go for Earth Power here and take me out because I am Life Orb. Yeah, Life Orb, Rocky Helmet. He's going to go for Earth Power right here and take me out. This is misplay number 2. I maybe should have clicked Rocks here. I maybe should have clicked Rocks that turn. Because at neutral, I could have taken an Earth Power. But now I just go into my Metagross here. And at this range, Grass Knot definitely is going to be able to take this thing out. So that's what I opt to go for here. Mega Up, just go for the Grass Knot to take him out. If he was Fizz Def, regardless, if he was Fizz Def, this Grass Knot was definitely killing. So yeah, I just take out that Size there. I do take Rocky Helmet because Grass Knot has to take Rocky Helmet. So he dies. Size is dead, which opens the door for Lando. But now he just goes into this thing and just forces me out. I should have definitely gotten Rocks up that turn. That was a major misplay. Anyway, I just go into my dedicated switching, and the Rocks are really going to make this thing's longevity really suck even more. He just goes to the Dark Pulse. Just in case he maybe thought I could have taken one, but he's going to see right away that this is AV. So he switches into his Muck, as I think I just go for the Drain Punch here. Yeah, he reveals to me Air Balloon, that's fine. I just go for a Drain Punch. I am able to pop his Balloon. But judging by that damage, I didn't want my AV getting knocked off yet, and I didn't want to risk the Poison Touch potential on the knockoff as well, and Earthquake wasn't going to take him out judging by that damage. So I decided to switch out here into my K9. This thing is kind of my least expendable member now that Terrakion's down, because Mensai could check with Mimikyu still. So I drop his attack, he goes for knockoff. He's going to knock off my lefties, but that's really no big deal. And he's going to switch out here, go into his Japanese letters, which is the Zapdos, as I decided to fire off a Morning Sun just to get some HP back. I'm able to cover everything. The HP lost from rocks, the HP lost from the knockoff. Okay, so now back up to full. And he goes with Discharge here, revealing he's faster, so he's up. Offensive Zapdos. I did have some speed on this. I believe I had enough to outspeed both Zapdos. I just go to Fire Blast here. That definitely is offensive as hell. And he goes with a Discharge here. And he gets the power, which is really unfortunate for me. You'll see why in a second. I go for the Fire Blast there. I just needed damage on this thing. He is actually in range of E-Speed, but I do get the Power Hacks, and he's able to roost up. That's really unfortunate for me, as I definitely wanted to, as E-Speed there would have taken out the Zapdos. As I am able to get off here, and as you can see from that, yeah, that definitely would have taken him out. I just decided to sack my Arcanine there. Really didn't need it. I just wanted it for damage on the Zapdos. So now I go into Metagross and kill something again. As he is going to choose to sack off his Zapdos here. Perfectly fine by my standards. And he just decides to kill off his Zapdos, which is good. But now the Greninja is just going to come back in. He actually didn't have U-turn on this Greninja, just so you know. So I switch out my Metagross here. I go back into my Kangaskhan. He just fires off another Dark Pulse. Kangaskhan, though, being a unsung MVP right here, sponging these hits. He just goes for Dark Pulse again, as that's going to take literal. It does do nothing, but I can't sponge it for long. He's definitely going to go hard into his Azelf here, expecting a Drain Punch. Now here I was thinking maybe I stay in and click Facade to get damage. But I figure, because I could have taken a hit from this thing, like just in case he nasty plotted thinking to switch. So I decided to go hard on my Mimikyu here. I think this is a misplay. I maybe should have stayed in and click Facade because he does go for the nasty plot, but that's really no big deal to me actually, because Mimikyu still has his disguise, and I'm Scarf. So I do get a hit off no matter what here. This turn I misplay. Pause. You see I went for Shadow Claw here. This was a gigantic misplay, because he could have went hard into Muck and Pursuit Trapped me. Or could have had the Berry. I completely forgot about the Berry, but when I clicked this move, I clicked this move way too fast. I should have clicked Play Rough, because it could have done big damage to this. Could have big damage to this, and it protected against the Muck switch too. Like if he went hard into Muck, I could have gotten some big damage off on the 2, maybe even 2 KO'd, because I believe I was Adamant Mimikyu. But I do go for Shadow Claw here, and he does reveal the Berry, which is really unfortunate. Really unfortunate for me. Because judging by how much that Shadow Claw did with the Cassia Berry, Play Rough actually may have killed this thing. But now he knows I'm Scarfed, and if I could have gotten rid of this thing with a Play Rough, that could have been glorious for me. Because then Kang could have been at okay-ish health for that Greninja. He's going to switch out here into the Muck. As I just end up sacking my Mimikyu with this thing. Because he is going to... I just go for Shadow Claw because I figured I need damage on this thing at all costs. I'm still poisoned from that turn 1 gigantic misplay. And I just go for Shadow Claw again because I just want damage on this thing. It still does a lot. He does end up revealing the Pursuit here. I believe I died of Toxic this turn. Yeah. And this turn, and now right here, this sequence of events is why that Mimikyu misplay was huge. I decided to go into my Lando here and start setting up now. Set the Z Sandstorm now. So there's my Rocky MZ. I decided to set the Z Sandstorm now rather than later. Just because reasons. Just because I really just want it. I felt like I could win this game right here with this. But as you can see, he is going to... He goes for knockoff here, which I thought was fine, but he does get the Poison Touch. Freaking King Midas over here. But instead of gold, it's the poison. Everything he touches just gets poisoned. But now, because I didn't go for Play Rough on the Azelf, he is going to be able to switch it to his Azelf here and just float above my Earth Power. And now he's going to be able to just pivot around his Azelf and his Muck to stall out the Sand turns and stall out my Lando because of the poison. So yeah, that's just really unfortunate. If I went for Play Rough on the Azelf, I could have potentially knocked it out, avoiding him from doing that. Because then he couldn't pivot around with his immense, such in case I had the HP Ice, which I ended up having. Because I felt like if this was the case, he probably would have pivoted around with his immense rather than his Muck. But as you see, that poison really is going to rack up. That poison was pretty big, but it wasn't really gigantic. And at the end of the game, you'll see why. As I'm going to end up taking out the Muck with the HP Ice. I did that just in case he decided to go back into his Azelf. And Lando is going to survive on one. So he goes back into the Azelf. But this Azelf is really just cheating death big time. I go for the HP Ice. It lives on 6. He goes for Shadow Ball, kills me. But right when it's in Sandstorm range, the Sandstorm turns run out. So this Azelf cheated death twice. One by me misplaying, and the other by... One by me misplaying enormously, and the other by Sandstorm running out at the perfect time. He goes with Bolt here. I really have no other play. This game is a wash, so I'm just really trying to preserve differential at this point. This game is a wash. Greninja just kind of picks off my last Dumons. So it's really no big... So it's really just... It's over. He goes into Azelf, goes into Greninja, and just wins. But no, this boy tried the flex. He goes into his Mence, thinking I don't have the Ice Punch. He goes into his Mence, tries to DD in my face. Look at this boy right here. He's trying to flex. He wants the Mence sweep. He wants to say Greninja didn't even touch the field. But no, we don't flex. No flex zone over here. Get out of here, Mence. So yeah, that was his blunder. He tried to flex on me with Salamence, and then I just blow him back with Ice Punch. But it doesn't matter. Greninja just wins anyway. I'm in range of a Dark Pulse. And Meta is definitely in range of a Dark Pulse from this thing. By the way, the reason why the Poison Touch on Lando wasn't as big as you would think is because after the game he told me he was scarfed on Greninja for something like that. For a Scarfed Landorus, for like a Scarfed Terrakion or something like that. He was a Scarfed Greninja for that shit. So GG Johnny, it's only a 1-0 loss, really no big deal. We could definitely still recover from this. Still a lot of season left. Plenty of season left to recover from this. Next week we take on Isolate and the Great Lake Greninjas, and he's coming off a 6-0 of El Scizor. Holy shit. Hopefully we could just, hopefully he's not riding high on that momentum, and we could bring him back to Earth. Because we really need a bounce back W after this one. It wasn't really a shit fest. I just made some pretty big misplays, and I just misplayed. I made pretty extravagant misplays. That Mimikyu turn was the turning point. That was just the biggest misplay. Because he had no fairy resist. I had no reason to not click Play Rough there. So, now you see my Gmail. Oh no, Spanic out. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.